Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Kai's Corner on the 480 podcast. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my series preview over the Arizona Diamondbacks versus the San Francisco Giants. They're playing in Oracle underneath some nice Tuesday night lights. So super excited to see how this series turns out. And let's get into it. The Arizona Diamondbacks officially kick off their series against the San Francisco Giants today. A lot to look forward to in this series, especially with having a great matchup on the mound. Tonight, we're going to have young left-handed pitcher for the San Francisco Giants, Kyle Harrison. He currently owns a 7-6 record with a 4.2 ERA and 115 Ks. And also, Arizona's second best pitcher of the year, in my opinion, Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson kicks off the mound going 9 for 6 and has a 4.2 ERA as well with 112 strikeouts. Honestly, my initial thoughts about the first game matchup, Kyle Harrison, Ryan Nelson, very similar pitchers as well, just from the opposite side of the mound. They're honest, one's a lefty, one's a righty, and I think that their pitching styles are almost basically the same. They almost have the same exact pitching repertoire too. I know Nelson and Harrison both love their fastballs and they both love their changeups. It's going to be a lot of that tonight. The D-backs kind of at a disadvantage. They always have a lot of lefties on their lineup, especially on the initial wild card or on the initial lineup card tonight with Del Castillo being in, as well as Corbin Carroll. I think they're going to have a lot of issues going up against Kyle Harrison, especially because he's just so good at the lefty-on-lefty matchups. I know that's usually a given, but I feel like it comes specialty too to Kyle. But you never know, obviously, especially with this Arizona Diamondback offense that's been so streaky as of late. I know they had that rough series against the Dodgers. They had that one crazy game, the third game of the series, where they absolutely showed up and won that game 14-3. So congrats to them on that front. But I do think that there will be a few struggles against Kyle Harrison. However, I know he's been dealing with his own command issues as of late. So there's going to be a little bit of that's going to come into play as well. But I definitely think that the D-backs take this first game, especially with Ryan Nelson being on the bump and going up against guys who actually don't have a great track record against them. Mike Yastrzemski does not bat very well against Ryan Nelson, and neither does Michael Conforto. Both lefties cannot hit a righty. I don't really understand why they're on this lineup card tonight, but they're there, guys. They're there. The Giants are definitely going to have a rough time against Ryan Nelson, especially in Oracle. I think that righties always thrive way better at Oracle. A little bit of a superstition there that I'm kind of throwing out. But I definitely think that the Arizona Diamondbacks have themselves a great case for winning against San Francisco. I know San Francisco, too, are kind of in the wild card race. There's a lot of issues with the team right now on the defensive end of things, especially with their bullpen being just so bad. But I know that there's a lot of issues within the D-backs organization too, specifically in the bullpen as well. So I do think that the keys to the game, technically, and honestly the keys for the whole series is getting to the bullpen super early and making sure to hop on those pitchers as soon as they can. So I think that's going to be a strategy that both teams are going to pull out super early on. Corbin Carroll, congrats to him, just winning National League Player of the Month. So there's that too going for Corbin. I know he's been looking great as of late. So can't wait to see how he starts doing against, the Giants. I know he's always done great in the Bay. So, who knows? Maybe he has a good night against Kyle Harrison. But the next game that is to follow, Zach Gallen on the bump, Hayden Birdsong on the bump. Zach Gallen currently holds a 10-6 record, 3.87 ERA, and 118 Ks. The third best pitcher on this team. If anybody does not agree with that take, we can find in the comments. I can back it up. Zach Gallen, one of the better pitchers for Arizona this year. I know he was a Cy Young finalist last year. Going up against the rookie Hayden Birdsong, he's still got a lot of kinks in his game that I know he has to work out. Big changeup guy, starting to look a little bit more comfortable with his slurve. Don't really know how effective that pitch is going to be, especially against the D-backs, who do really well against off-speed pitchers. They're actually top 10 in the entire league in hitting off-speed pitches. I think they're absolutely going to destroy Hayden Birdsong this game. I think as a rookie, going up against these guys that have been so killer all year long, I just think Hayden's going to have a really rough night on the mound. I have this game being a huge blowout. I mean, I think Arizona takes this game no problem, especially with the type of guys that they're going to be getting back during the series, such as Christian Walker. Josh Bell will potentially get sent down to the Reno Aces or might even move over to a DH spot. Who knows? I think there's a lot of question marks up in the air right now in terms of the future for Josh Bell and in terms of the future for Christian Walker, too, with him getting a little bit older. But I am really excited to see how this Giants D-back series plays out. They conclude their last game with Blake Snell being on the bump for the Giants, and to TBD as of right now for the D-backs onto who's to pitch against Snell. Snell just won National League Pitcher of the Month, by the way, as well. If there's a game that I think the Giants are going to take, I definitely think it's going to be this last series or the last game of the series. Blake Snell's been having so much go for him right now. I think he finally found his command. His repertoire is looking awesome. He has great movement on his pitches. And the D-backs just really don't do well against left-handed pitching. It's the same thing with the Giants. Whenever a lefty's in, it's a lot of chaos. So I definitely think that Blake Snell is going to get the Diamondbacks the loss first-handed. I think the Snellzilla is going to come in, throw a great game, maybe a no-hitter. Who knows? We saw one in August, but nobody knows. However, I do think Blake Snell is going to have a really good game against the D-backs. I know I'm saying this a little bit too early, but the D-backs have a lot of good potential on this team to possibly overthrow the Giants. I know the Giants, like I said, still kind of in the wild card race, but, if they do take the win over the D-backs during the series, they might still have a chance to be in contention. So we'll see. I think this is a big series for the Giants. Maybe they finally put their foot in the ground and say, hey, look, we're a playoff team. But don't think that's going to happen. Especially with Matt Chapman being as good as he has been. I just don't see that the Giants are honestly going to be a playoff team this year. I don't think it happens, but I do think the D-backs have a good shot at sweeping the San Francisco Giants team at Oracle. D-backs have always been Oracle killers whenever they play the Giants, so, there's always that. But that's my preview of the Giants versus D-back series. I think the D-backs take 2 of 3. I think they drop the one of the Snell. So book it. Don't forget that. However, again, like I said, Dodger series was a little bit rough, but hopefully they can recuperate and get some wins here in the Bay Area. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. That was another episode of Kai's Corner.